8,349 miles, and I'm still hunting my white whale. When I started this ride, I thought I knew exactly what I was chasing. I had the binder, the maps, the gear, the cameras, everything dialed in. But somewhere between New Jersey and the Pacific, I realized the thing I was looking for wasn't on any map. This is the story of the 2026 epic ride, the plan, the tools, the road, and the question I still haven't answered. I've been riding since I was 10 years old. Mini bikes, dirt bikes, street bikes, anything with two wheels and a motor. When I retired in April 2026, I knew I had one shot to see America at ground level while I still could. But the truth is, I wasn't just chasing scenery. I was chasing a feeling, that open-air communion with the world you only get on a motorcycle. The subtle temperature shifts, the smell of grass after a storm, the way the road forces you to be present. That feeling, that's my white whale. The cast, the captain, yours truly providing direction. The planner, AI and I creating the planned path. I provide the prompts, AI extracts required data, generates CSV files. The Zoleo, actual path taken, breadcrumbs in CSV file, search and rescue, SOS, and messaging. Google Maps, turn-by-turn directions per plan and rules. Google My Maps, planning overview and plan versus actual overlay comparison. The binder, documenting it all, binder-ready cards and spreadsheet formatted for turn-by-turn URLs. The Edge, turn-by-turn per the no highways, no tolls, no ferries rules. This video will leverage AI to plan a motorcycle trip. I will explore how to use AI prompts to generate a comprehensive pre-trip itinerary that can be imported into Google My Maps, as well as how to handle post-trip Zoleo report exports. These are the requirements for my AI-generated itinerary. My target is a motorcycle trip in May 2026 featuring specific trip segments, lodging preferences, and data points for logistics and costs. I aimed for outputs in both Google Spreadsheet and binder-ready card format. The first set of AI prompts focuses on core trip logistics. This includes vehicle specifications, daily mileage targets, rest cycles, and preferred lodging. I also define the specific geographic route segments from New Jersey to California and back. Continuing with my requirements, I expand the scope to include specific route segments along the Pacific Coast Highway. I also request the integration of essential stops like CVS Pharmacies and Chase Banks, plus gas station planning and data for Google My Maps import. My third set of prompts covers maintenance and safeties. I ask for information on Can-Am on-road dealers along the route, national park entry, and points of interest. Additionally, I integrate weather and environmental considerations to ensure optimal trip timing. Finally, I specify the output structure. We define the exact column headings for my Google spreadsheet and for the layout for the physical binder cards. I will start by generating a 2-day sample to validate the formatting before proceeding with the full plan. So here's an example of the daily binder that I had created. This happens to be day 6 going from Chicago to Litchfield. This was segment 2 of day 6 and was an estimated 296 miles for a total of 1,728 total miles to that point, and day 6 of 44. You can see the start city and the end city, sunrise, sunset, and then the high-low temperature for the day and the hours of daylight that would be available. So that hours of daylight gave me the maximum daylight riding I could do, which is what I was trying to limit things to. And obviously the high-low temperature for the day helped me decide how to dress for the day as well. And then we come down into the actual activities for the day, starting off with the points of interest at the Route 66 start sign on 78 East Adams Street in Chicago. And there's the latitude and longitude and the notes, right? That's the official Route 66 starting point. And then I've got the navigation to go from the start sign to the Shell gas station. So if you look down here in the bottom edge, when I hover over that, you can see that that URL is going to launch Google Maps and then put the turn-by-turn directions up on your phone for you to follow. And so I did that between each of the activities for the day, and at the bottom I've got a URL that encompasses the entire day of going from point to point to point to point. So you can go either individual segments or go for the entire day. So the Gemini Giant, we didn't get to see that on the 2017 Eagle Rider Tour, so I made sure that I saw that. The Polka Dot Inn, we did see that, but I went back and saw that again because I really kind of enjoyed the ambiance, if you will, there. The statue of Elvis, Betty Boop, the Blues Brothers. It was a little bit of a hoot, and so that was fun to go back to. And again, there's the address, there's the phone number, the latitude and longitude, and the number of miles in between stops, aggregated up for the course of the day. And as we come down through, you can see there I've got my second gas stop for the day, and again with the address, phone number, and then we move on to the additional points of interest. And then the other thing that we had incorporated in all of these was, was there a bank nearby if I needed money or needed to do something with the bank? And the other, we'll go to one of the other sheets and I'll show you where the drugstore is there as well. So I knew where I could go if I needed to get a prescription refilled or anything like that. And then the end of day hotel, the Hampton Inn in Litchfield, and what the address was there. So I did stay at this hotel. The start of day, I did not stay in Chicago. I came back out to Bolingbrook, Illinois, and stayed in a Home to Suites there. And we'll probably wind up talking about that later on. There we go, day 5. So if I went from Kankakee to Chicago, right, the Hampton Inn in Kankakee, Shell stop, and there's the CVS, and again, the same information. There's the actual street address, there's the phone number, latitude and longitude, convenient for prescriptions before downtown, and again, the bank. So that was the binder, the book ready binder, and this is the device that I held evening negotiations with every day of the trip. What did I see? What hadn't I seen? What had the weather done that had maybe caused some of that change? Were we ahead of schedule? Were we behind schedule? Could we make it up? Did we want to make it up? Were we okay with just taking another day? So those were the daily negotiations with the binder, and it sat there as a mechanical device with perfect logic, and I was the variable that upset the apple cart, so to speak. But at the end of the day, we executed the entire trip and saw, if not everything, we certainly saw a majority of it. And so this is the same itinerary, but in Google Sheets, so that we could just throw this on the phone. And again, there's day 1 in the home city, the start city, end city, miles, what the stop was called, what the address was, the city, the zip, the state, the phone number. Right, we keep coming over. We've got the website for all the various entities on there. We've got the latitude and longitude. We've got the time set up so that we know what element it is. All right, if we get down a little further, you can see the points of interest. Sunrise, sunset, high and low temperature, sunrise and sunset in the end city, high and low temperatures, start and stop, and then any notes of particular interest, and segment 1 to day 1. So segment 1 basically got us out to Chicago, and then Chicago on out to Santa Monica was segment 2. Segment 3 was Santa Monica down to San Diego. Turn around, that was 4 coming up, and then 5 was coming back across. And again, you can see, here we've got our URLs so that we can go get the directions between those points. And again, if we go in and select our no highways, no tolls, and no ferries. Then we've got our primary route in place. Now this was an alternative route that we had been looking at, so all of this is done the same exact way. So you can see that, you know, this was again those route options, and the piece that added a little bit of excitement to the daily adventure. And I think, as I've said previously, it worked fantastic. There you go, you clicked on the URL and that got you your directions from point A to B. And right, if we come back over, you can see the days. And if we continue down through, right, all the different places that we started and stopped from. And again, just this was easy on the cell phone to just pull this up, come over, click on the link, and go off to your next exciting location. And again, just resetting this to no highways, no tolls, and no ferries. Really, the only difference between the document and the spreadsheet, I had the document also on the phone so that I could go click on the URLs there, but this just seemed a little more intuitive when I would open it up and look at it. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me, but those are the alternatives to how we did this. And log into your Zoleo account and then choose the Zoleo track from the left-hand menu under My Account. And once you get there, you can go to the download button, select the date range of the data that you're trying to extract. And once you have that selected, export to CSV, and that will write that out to your downloads folder. Go ahead and copy that. And then you can move that over to the folder in which you want to work with it in, and then rename it to something that you'll remember and know how to work with. And when you're done with that, you can go back and log out of your Zoleo account and you're finished. To hear the tracker speak, you export a report. Open Zoleo, choose your tracking history, and download the CSV. Latitude, longitude, time, the truth of the road, line by line. Create a new map. Import the tracker's CSV. Assign latitude and longitude, and suddenly the whale's trail appears. Every stop, every detour. Truth needs interpretation. That's where the cartographer comes in. It doesn't care about fear or fatigue. It only cares about where the whale actually went. I set 3 rules: no highways, no tolls, no ferries. The whale wouldn't get to choose the path. I would. But the road negotiates, weather negotiates, reality negotiates. Some days the whale forced me off my rules. Some days I forced it back. Then you rebuild the day using your rules. No highways, no tolls, no ferries. Sometimes the cartographer obeys, sometimes the whale fights back. The log is where the hunt becomes history. Every day's route, every sunrise and sunset, every fuel stop, CVS, Chase Bank, Hampton Inn, every note about weather, fatigue, or negotiation. Take the cartographer's route, print it or screenshot it, add the day's mileage, stops, coordinates, notes. The log becomes the story of what you planned and what the whale allowed. Every day was a negotiation. The planner said one thing, the tracker recorded another. The cartographer tried to reconcile them, and the log kept score. The whale wasn't the route, it was the gap between the plan and the reality, the space where fear, weather, fatigue, and stubbornness collide. That feeling that I've been chasing and continue to chase. If you want to hunt your own whale, here's the system. Plan the day, track the truth, map the reality, log the story, 4 characters, 1 hunt. The whale was never just a story. It was a method, a way to turn a long road into something worth remembering and wanting to repeat before this one is even over. And now you have the tools and the characters to chase your own. If you've got your own white whale, your own question you're chasing, drop it in the comments. I want to hear your story. Thanks for watching. I'm Rusty, and I'll see you on the next ride. Let's ride! Now, I'd like to share with you how I booked hotels and give you an overview of the comparison Google My Maps of the planned versus actual routes employed on the trip. I'd like to share how hotels were booked by either Hilton or Booking.com apps approximately 1 to 1.5 hours prior to getting to the ending location for the night. Go to My Maps, and I've got the map that I created earlier today, so I'll just walk through this. This is the planned import versus the actual import. So the planned was the latitude, longitude that we generated for each of the stop activities that we did along the way with the AI. And obviously the Zoleo, that's exactly what it produces, is here's the latitude, longitude, and altitude on the face of the planet. And so the blue is the plan that I did with the AI, and then the red is the actual path produced from the Zoleo. So you can see pretty good resolution all the way across the country. The big exceptions is out here along the Pacific Coast Highway in Upper California and Oregon and Washington State. I had an issue, and so I took I-80 over across the I-5 and took I-5 on up through Oregon, Washington State, stayed in Kent for a couple of days, laundry and catching up some stuff, and then went up and jumped on to I-90 and took I-90 across. And again, this was a Glacier National Park. I was going to go to going to the Sun Road, but the problem that I had, I opted not to go to there. And then as we came down, you can see the blue down here and the planned that was going into Yellowstone, and I opted not to do that. And everything else you can see is virtually a spot-on pathway, what we had planned to do with the AI versus what we actually did with the Zoleo breadcrumb trail data. So I thought I'd show that to you. I thought that was a pretty cool way to see the direct comparison of what the planning activity produced versus what we actually physically did. So there you have it.